So wait, what did you think of that sequence that just happened?
Well, it's disturbing as shit, first of all. And second of all, I just have so many more questions than I do any kind of idea as to what they're actually looking for. What they actually found. I don't even want to make conjecture.
Well,
I don't really have anything to go on.
We do have some hints. Well, from what Ava was talking about.
So
it sounds like it's wordplay, for one.
Okay.
And for two, it sounds like having an atlas helps.
Okay. Atlas. Makes me think about Greek mythology.
Makes me think of the second vertebrae. It's called the atlas.
Oh, really?
I think. It's a bone in the body. I forget which vertebrae it is. Atlas bone.
It would make sense if it was in the back or the shoulders.
It is.
Because
It's
Atlas holding up the world.
yes. That's actually why or how it got its name, by the way.
Okay.
The atlas is. Oh, it's the first. It's the first cervical vertebrae. The axis is the second one. The atlas is the first one.
Okay. Yeah, have you ever played Bioshock?
No.
Okay. There's a character named Atlas in that, and he's like Irish or Scottish. Good character. Are we switching off?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just wondering if you want to keep reading.
No. I messed up. Sorry.
Okay.
You're good.
All right. Triple exclamation marks. My heart leapt because there, gaping wide.
Were these nuts?
Damn it! I was gonna say that.
Spooky atmosphere.
Because there, gaping wide, was my anus. It was the open mouth of eerie darkness. Lalatino. I don't think I'm ready for this, man. When I strained my eyes, peering into the darkness, I saw something that looked like a light switch. In addition, there was a switch with open and close written on it.
It's a bomb.
I resolutely pushed the switch for the lights, and rough lights, almost like you'd find in a coal mine or something, flickered on sporadically, making a staircase that stretched underground come hazily into vision. It was creepy how it looked even more gloomy with the lights turned on. Other than the light switch, there was also a switch with open and close written on it. I could probably open and close it with this, but if I was unlucky enough to find that the open part was broken, I might be closed up in this creepy underground area for all eternity. So for the time being, I didn't touch the open-close switch. And as I readied my gun again, I slowly went down the stairs.
Where even are we?
Secret tunnel, through the mansion. Because the ceiling was very high, it didn't feel cramped. On the contrary, it felt as though a cool breeze was blowing upwards, and I even sensed a spiritual presence from the
Through the mansion? Through the mansion? We were just outside at the beginning of this talking. The rain was coming down.
Oh, that's true.
So it seems like it's someplace outside.
Yeah, it's not actually in the... And they were in the guest house anyway, right?
They were?
Yeah. I only did it because the original line is mountain, and it kind of worked.
Yeah, gotcha.
With my gun at the ready and carefully staring forwards, I continued descending the stairs.
Ha!
Nope. The walls, the stairs, the lights, all of them were very old-fashioned. I feel like I'm in a noir movie. It may be beyond doubt that this had been made at the same time that the mansion had been constructed on this island. There were cracks in the ceiling, and water clung to the walls, constantly dripping down. That's gross. That water fell into a gutter that had been set up alongside the stairs, then quickly and silently flowed into the underground darkness.
Flowed into the darkness.
It was as though it was telling me to go faster. The staircase turned back on itself a number of times. It was hard to tell how far underground I'd gone, but I thought it to be much deeper than one floor. Oh my god. And eventually, a rough metal door showed itself. And there, characters had been written in a dark red paint. They had probably been written a long time ago. On the 10th twilight, the journey ends, and you shall reach the home of the gold. My heart, which was already about to explode, jumped about even more as soon as I saw those red deep characters.
Red deep characters?
Shut up. There's no mistake.
That was a mistake.
There is no mistake. This is the last stop. Father's golden land. I calmed my throbbing heart, somehow regained my composure, and readied the gun again.
And sucked my balls.
But since in the end I couldn't open the door with my gun held in both hands, I lowered the gun, carefully erased my breath. What? Erased my breath?
Silenced my breath?
I guess. It's an interesting way to phrase that. And opened the door. I gently opened the door. My first impression when I saw the room was to question whether it might have been connected to one of the rooms in the mansion. Yes, this place had exactly the same atmosphere about it as the forbidden VIP room on the second floor. But this was underground, so there were no windows. There was only the solemn light of a grand chandelier. But the quality of the interior, dimly lit by the faint light, was more than enough to take your breath away. Or erase it, apparently. A bed with a canopy and a rocking chair that looked like it would be very comfortable to sit in. An extravagant sofa and carpet. The room was like a dream every girl yearns for, at least once. And yet, since it was an underground hidden room with no windows, it actually felt more like it could be the hidden house of a witch. I had never swallowed the legend of Beatrice, Witch of the Forest. However, if you were shown this room, it certainly would become hard to doubt that she actually had existed and had lived in here. Although I was dumbfounded by this room, I cautiously, no, timidly kept my gun raised and searched the interior. And in the center of the room, I found it. Oh, fuck. My gas came out strangely, as though a bunny was being choked. What? some weird things in this chapter, man.
She got her balls stuck in my throat. I mean, my balls stuck in her throat.
I mean, after finding something like this, no one would have any words other than that stupid voice.
This is new, this music.
Oh yeah, I guess it is.
Bet you weren't expecting this.
No. On the opposite side of the canopy bed, it was piled up in a massive heap. A mountain of gold ingots. Of course, they weren't piled up carelessly in a way that would damage the dignity of the room.
The second she touches one of them, it just blows up.
She's trying to play Jenga with it. She takes one out, the whole thing just...
No, I mean like it's a trap. You take one off and just a nuke goes off.
No. That would be pretty funny. The story just ends there. No need for answer arcs.
No.
A beautiful scarlet satin weave was laid on the mountain of gold, creating a beautiful three-colored mix between the red, the gold, and the black of the deep darkness. It was as though, when the witch slept on this bed, the gold would be a respectful chamberlain waiting on her. Nobly, refinedly, gracefully, beautifully. It was piled there with an imposing and yet ceremonious air. I tried to grab a single gold ingot and was surprised at its weight. It was probably about 10 kilograms. Just this one ingot would easily be worth 10 million without a doubt. The Ushiromiya family crest, the one-winged eagle, was lightly imprinted on it. It was hard to tell whether it had worn away or whether the impression had been made carelessly in the first place. But it was certainly the crest of the one-winged eagle. Just how many ingots are piled up here? Just by roughly multiplying both sides and by multiplying that by the height, it must surely come to over several hundred. My mind's already blank. I can't calculate it properly. Even a conservative count would put it easily above 1 billion yen.
Soよ。そうに決まってるわよ。だって10トンの黄金よ。時価にして200億円の黄金よ。見つけたわ。誰よりも早く私が見つけたわ。
Don't you just get a bad feeling about this?
It's so... You know that some sweet justice is gonna come and interfere with this just blatant display of greed. She's literally fucking insane. She's literally crazy. She needs to be put away. In front of the mountain of gold, I spread my arms and looked up at the ceiling. A laugh without a trace of dignity flowed out from my entire body.
More like you spread your legs. This is gold.
You're calling her a slut for gold?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much right. I had no intention at all of laughing in such a weird way. But I couldn't hold back the happy feeling that flowed throughout my entire body.
Yeah.
That older brother of mine probably wouldn't accept his loss just because I had found this gold. But from now on, there would be no changing the fact that I had been the one to find it. To steal the headship of the family, I would still probably need some subtle tactics. But after everything I've gone through until now, that's a completely trivial problem. Even if I lose out on the inheritance of the Ushiromiya family and everything, this 20 billion yen's worth of gold is now mine. My own. My precious.
We haven't had a death in a while.
That's true. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. This is the perfect time to do it, too. Oh, man. Separate the two who are close. Ava and her gold. Right?
Yeah, that's great!
世の中にはお金で買えないものなんていくらでもあると思ってた。でもそんなのは嘘っぱちだって今理解したわ。
That's great acting. I love it.
そんなのは持たざる者の自分への言い訳だったのよ。この黄金の山を前にして私はやっとそんな当たり前を理解したわ。
What is
こ
that?
の世のすべての幸せはこの黄金を溶かすことで生み出すことができる。
She wants to marry the gold.
Yeah. I think it would be really poetic if the gold, like, crushed her to death.
Before you pressed enter, I was gonna say, what, you want to have a child with the gold? And then that line popped up. I should have said it before, though.
Honestly, it's literally like,
Yeah.
it's like a weird, subtle, sexual thing, too. It makes me uncomfortable.
夫の会社はもう大丈夫。私たち家族はずっと幸せ。
Ava X Gold.
Sure.
Happy
そ
family.
してジョージにも莫大なお金を残してあげることができる。他の親戚たちなどやがては没落して消えるわ。その時ジョージはこの黄金を使って失われた後ろ宮家の意向を
And the vicious cycle will continue.
まるでお父様がそうしたように復興させてみせるのよ。そ その時誰も異論を挟めないわ。ジョージこそが後ろ宮家の本当の跡継ぎなのよ。
Jesus Christ, calm the fuck down. It happened. My wish was granted. That dream I have wished for ever since I was born into this world as Ushiromiya Eva has been granted completely in this very moment. My husband and I will be happy for all eternity, and I can also give my only son, George, eternal happiness. There's no way I'll waste it on foolish pleasures. My older brother has chewed up the Ushiromiya family, but George and I will revive it. And that means that we truly have succeeded the headship of the Ushiromiya family.
成し遂げたわ。やったわ。あなたジョージ私は母さんはついに成し遂げたわよ。
She's gonna have like a stroke or something.
も
She
う
doesn't calm
これで誰にも脅かされない。
Oh my god! Oh my god! What is this? That's right. After this, never again will we be smothered by sad nights.
おめでとう、私。おめでとう、後ろ宮エヴァ。私たちの悲しい半生は今ここに全ての念願が叶って消化されたわ。
あなたのおかげよ。あなたの魔法があったからこのチャンスに恵まれた。このチャンスがあったから私はここにたどり着くことができた。
ありがとう。でも私の魔法は私たちが互いに信じ合わなくちゃ叶えることがで
Yay,
きなかった。
friendships and magic.
Hey.
だから私の魔法の力だけじゃない、私たちの勝利よ。だからこそおめでとう、
Oh, Medito.
私たち。
That's weird. Get out of here.
ありがとう私。ありがとう後ろ宮エヴァ。
Literally embodies her selfishness. She's literally thanking herself.
今日までくじけなくてよかった。悲しみに溺れあがくことを忘れなくてよかった。いいえ、これは私の魔法。私たちの魔法。
魔法？
あなたの魔法は本物だったわ。森の魔女ベアトリーチェなんてすでに幻想。
I'm the real witch now, bitch.
本当の魔法が使える本当の魔女。
You're the real witch now,
そう
bitch.
よ。
Real magic.
あなたこそが今や黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェなのよ。
Oh, how sweet you should. I'm the real witch.
That's adorable. I really fucking hope she dies. Ava decided to leave that place for the time being. And when she climbed the stairs again, trying to leave this secret place, she saw a creepy, swaying human shadow blocking her path, and her dreamlike state was blown away.
誰？
Oh, shit's gonna go down. For an instant, she believed that the true master of this room, the real Beatrice, had appeared.
What do you think it is?
I don't know.
Take a guess.
Kinda wanna say it's Hideyoshi.
You think that idiot could find this place?
I don't know. Maybe. Probably not. But, I mean...
She blasts a hole into the person without checking. Looks at it, turns out to be Hideyoshi.
That would suck.
She screams, goes on a rampage, killing everybody.
I feel like she would just end up killing herself then.
Probably.
It seemed that the other person was also holding a gun. The two of them were pointing guns at each other. And eventually, they each realized who the other was. Kraus?
ローザ。
Oh,
The
shit.
dimwit.
She was playing dumb.
姉さん
She knew, or she figured it out.
こんなところで何をしているのお互い様よあなたこそこんなところへ何のご用
How did you find this place? How did you find this place?
姉さんにヒントをあげるんじゃなかったわ
So she already knew?
そうだったならここにたどり着いたのはきっと私が一番だった残念よ
It seemed that Rosa knew where this staircase went and what was waiting ahead of her.
言うわね私より遅くたどり着いたくせに鮎の皮に悩みすぎたわ鮎なんて大した意味ないじゃない
Hmm.
River meaning the staircase?
Maybe.
Is that?
I don't know.
そんなことないわよ立派なヒントだったじゃないまあ確かに鮎である必要はなかったかもでも鮎が海に出る魚だと聞いて私はそれで気づいたのこの奥には何自分の目で確かめたら
Trust her.
あなたの想像をきっと
Yes, definitely. Go down ahead of me.
Yeah. Don't let that bitch behind you.
怯えないで姉さん私はもともと当主が誰になるかなんて興味ない後宮の席だって興味ないしね本音を言うと自分が当主になるんだってずっと威張り散らしてたクラウス兄さんから姉さんがその座を奪うならかえって小気味がいいくらいよ本気で言ってるのもちろんよ私は後宮兄弟のはぐれ者仮に私が当主跡継ぎだとお父様に指名されたとしてもそれを兄さんたちが認めてくれるわけもないそこまで甘い夢は見てないつもりよ、
I just want my
私に
gold.
も見せてよ姉さんの勝利の証を
She's playing her. She's totally fucking playing her right
私は
How
兄
many
弟
dead
に取
bodies
り
do you
決めし
think
た
are
正
gonna
当
be
な取り
here?
分さえもらえれば
now. I don't know.
Trick question.
I don't think there are gonna be any dead bodies. Hopefully they don't kill each other, but...
むしろ姉さんがこのゲームの正当な勝利者だと積極的に認めるつもりよ私を撃っちゃえばこの黄金はローザの独り占めになっちゃうわねそれは同じよ姉さんが私を撃てばこの黄金は姉さんの独り占め
For a tense while, the sisters pointed their guns at each other. Eventually, after they sized up the glint in the other's eyes, they lowered their guns. Ava removed her finger from the trigger and held the gun upside down. It was a position that she couldn't quickly shoot from. When she saw that, Rosa held hers the same way.
そうね相手を撃って黄金を独り占めにしようという提案はお互いにとって魅力的ねでも台風で隔絶したこの島から突然失踪すればここに死体を隠せば簡単には見つからないだろうけど何百億円の黄金があろうとも殺人の罪を犯すリスクには割が合わないわ、むしろそれを出しにされてクラウス兄さんたちに絞り取られるのがオチね
It isn't worth the risk of committing murder? How about it's not worth killing a family member?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, we're talking about family.
That shows how
We're
much
talking
they
about
don't
two
like each
sisters
other.
shooting each other.
ここに現れたのが兄さんやルドルフであるくらいならあんたであったことは不幸中の幸いかもしれない私は兄弟であんたを一番信用してるものありがとう私も姉さんのこと兄弟で一番信用してる
I
わよ
don't like any
I
of
trust
this.
Rudolph the most.
I do too. I feel like Rudolph's the most down to earth.
Mm.
私も黄金が見たいわ
I didn't like that pause.
見る
No,
私ももう一度見たくなったわ
I don't.
この目で見たにもかかわらずまだ現実感が湧かないのあなたと一緒に見て 確かに存在することをもう一度霧になって黄金が消えてしまいそうな気がするわ。
Is it gonna be gone when they get down there?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
You motherfucker. Ava started descending the staircase once more. However, she didn't carelessly expose her back to Rosa. Likewise, even though at a glance it looked like Rosa had lowered her guard, she definitely didn't show any signs of carelessness. And they reached that room of the witch once again. Rosa also gasped, made speechless by the vast amount of gold. Aw. Rosa and Ava walked absent-mindedly through the rose garden. They had left the guest house secretly, so they had to be careful when they returned as well. They had to regain their sense of tension soon.
おめでとう姉さん。
ありがとう。
姉さんが決めたのよね。後宮家当主跡継ぎの肩書きに5割って。ここで聞いてくるとはね。今やそれはクラウス兄さんのことではない。だから姉さんの取り分が5割とその4分の1で125億。
But that doesn't mean that they solved the epitaph completely, right?
I don't know.
I mean, they found the Golden Land, but...
That doesn't mean they figured out what the entire thing meant.
Unless, I mean, like she was saying, home of the gold, it could be different from Golden Land. So maybe where the gold is the home of the gold, like you said earlier, but the Golden Land is different.
Uh-huh.
すごい取り分じゃない。私は25億で満足よ。ルドルフ兄さんだって文句は言わないわ。文句を言うのはクラウス兄さんだけでしょうね。
そうね。何しろ六軒島の実質的管理者は兄さんだもの。そしてその敷地内に黄金があった以上、第一発見者が私でもうまくことを運ばないとややこしいことになりそうよ。
ならないわよ。そこまでをも想定して私たちは昨べ散々議論を尽くしたんじゃない。
果たしてそううまくいくかしらね。私はもうすっかり興奮は冷めてるわよ。ここからの調整の方がむしろ問題ね。
それは新しき後宮家当主の問題ね。姉さんが楽しむべき問題よ。私には関係ないわ。
言うわね。
第二発見者として姉さんに協力するから、どうか例の前払い分、私の1億5000万だけは3月までにお願い。
いいわ。私に協力するならそれくらい気前よく払うわ。私は兄さんじゃないもの。
とりあえずは兄さんたちを驚かせましょう。実際の場所は伏せるにしても早くクラウス兄さんの驚く顔が見たいわ。
ちょっと待ってよローザ。それをみんなに伝えるのはまだ待って。
どうして？
バカね。決まってるでしょ。相手はあの尊大なクラウス兄さんにずる賢いルドルフなのよ。やがては発表するにしても今はまだ早いわ。どうやって話を進めるか慎重に検討してからじゃないと、せっかく見つけた黄金を全て兄さんにかすめ取られることもありえるわよ。
Ava had thought that she had just said something completely obvious. So when she saw Rosa's expression suddenly cloud over, she was a little surprised.
何か不満なの？クラウス兄さんたちの性分はあんただってよく知っているでしょうが。
姉さん、それはルール違反よ。
何の話よ。
Against the rules?
私たちは誰が黄金を見つけてもすぐに報告するというルールになっていたはずよ。
That kind of rings a bell.
それを渋ればルールの根底が崩れて後で何かの火種になるかもしれないわ。クラウス兄さんが狡猾であるならばあるほどにそのルール違反は後でこじれるわ。
バカ言わないで。ここは兄さんの島なのよ。 そしてさっきの黄金はキャッシュじゃない。10トンもの莫大な換金物の山なのよ。運び出して現金化するには相当の手間をかけるわ。そしてそれはこの島を実効支配している兄さんにあらゆる面で有利に働くわ。そんなこともわからないのあんたは。
そういう腹の探り合い。私は自分の取り分の25億をはっきり確定させたいだけ。もちろん姉さんが私に現金25億を今すぐ渡してくれるなら、
But most of all,
あとは姉さんがどう交渉しようと勝手よ。でも私の取り分が手元に入るまでは私は兄弟のルールを遵守するわ。
Out comes the shotgun.
yeah, I know, right? It's gonna happen.
あんた兄さんのずる賢さを何も分かってない。
It wasn't that Rosa didn't understand the craftiness of her older siblings. In that sense, Rosa more or less understood Ava's caution. But in her heart, she couldn't clear away her even greater suspicion that Ava wanted to keep all the gold to herself. Because she knew that Ava was at least as crafty as her other siblings, if not more. In other words, by quickly informing the siblings of the gold's discovery, Rosa wanted to put a stop to any chance Ava had to keep the gold all to herself.
Why'd you spill the beans that you were gonna tell them, mate, Rosa? You're stupid. Because now Ava's gonna, like, fucking blast you in the face.
ローザ、悪いけど今だけは私の言うことを聞きなさい。
言うことを聞かないと1億5000万は用意できないってこと？
そういう言い方をしているつもりはないわ。でもあなたが本当にそのお金を必要としているなら私に協力した方が現実的よ。兄さんたちに話せばその当然の取り分すらもなくなってしまうかもしれない。それは嫌でしょう。
Oh!
Oh, I thought Ava would be the first to pull it. For a while, a severe expression that she had never shown to her sister before rose to Rosa's face. There wasn't even a trace of her restraint as a younger sister. Top tier Emoto. There was just the ruthlessness. No, the seriousness of a single human arguing about a vast sum of wealth. Ava made light of it, chuckling.
やれやれ、物騒な殺人事件が起こったばかりでその犯人がまだ島の中にいるかもしれないってのに、こんなところで立ち話なんて私たちもつくづく不用心ね。
どうせ使用人たちの茶番でしょ。この島で殺人事件なんてもともと起こってないのよ。
What?
やっぱりそう思う？
Wow, okay.
Didn't you see all the dead bodies?
6人の死亡状況ではっきり説明がつくわ。あの6人の密室は外部犯行では絶対に作れない。南條先生は全員死んでるって言ったけど、これは全てお父様が仕組んだ手の込んだお芝居よ。使用人たちはみんな死んだふりをしているだけよ。もともと殺人なんか起こってない。殺人犯なんかうろついてるわけがないのよ。
Interesting.
あんたがそれに気づくとは意外ね。割と怯えてるように見えたからそこまでは気づいてないと思って。
Ava thinks that too?
Apparently.
私、そういう場の空気は
I
読
had
む
no
方
idea
な
that
の。
both of them thought that.
おかげさまで鍛えられたから。
Oh, you're both wrong.
That's right. Before we realized it, the servants had died. In quotes. And the members of the Yushiromi family had become the only ones on this island. After Nanjo had proclaimed the deaths of the servants, and the relatives had begun to discuss the riddle of the epitaph, he had disappeared off upstairs as though he was in the way.
すべて私たちに非分に挑戦してもらおうというお芝居よ。だからこそ姉さんが勝利者であるという宣言が必要なのに、あの焼死体が本当のお父様のわけがない。足の指の数が同じ死体をどこかで調達してわざわざ悪趣味に焼いてみせたのよ。きっとどこかに隠れて私たちがどう振る舞うかを監視してるわ。姉さんが黄金鏡に至ったこともきっとすでに知るところよ。だからこそ早く姉さんが勝利者であると宣言すべき。きっとお父様がどこからともなく現れて 手を叩きながら姉さんこそが跡継ぎだと宣言してくれるわ。
Somehow I doubt that.
まあでも私は姉さんから1億5000万を無心しなくてはならない以上、何も逆らうことなんかできないわね。
私の言うことを聞いて兄さんたちには黙っているということね。そこをはっきりさせなさい、ローザ。
私は話したいわ。ルールを定めたのはつい昨べよ。それを保護にすべきではないわ。
もちろん必ず兄弟の前で発表はするわ。でもその前によく状況を確認したいのよ。10トンの黄金の運び出し、そして換金、公平な分配、それを兄さんに出し抜かれずに行える裏付けが取れるまでしばらく考える時間が欲しい。
That's fair.
それまで発表を待ちたいというだけの話よ。決して独り占めしたくて内緒にするわけじゃないわ。
That's suspicious.
やがてはきっとみんなに発表するの。
もちろんよ。私だって早く兄さんの鼻を明かしてやりたいもの。
姉さんの言う考える時間というのは、
そんなの考えてみなくちゃわからないわ。
一晩あればそれは十分。
一晩ってそんなの約束できないわよ。
I don't like it.
次期当主の姉さんに敬意を表して一晩は姉さんに協力するわ。今年の親族会議は台風が通り過ぎて船が迎えに来る明日の朝まで。そうね、海猫の鳴く頃にはお開きになる。
Hey! It's the name of the... Yeah.
そこまでは私、それ以上の考える時間が必要だというのなら、その時に改めて相談しましょう。私は姉さんの立場を最大限汲み取って協力するわ。
Ooh. The italics there.
あんた
Interesting.
食えないわね。びっくりよ。それだけのたくましさがあったなんて。
女は子を持つと強くなるって本当ね。マリアを産んで私はそれを強く自覚し
They
てる。
become stronger when they have practice
Beating
with their
their
muscles.
わかったわ。とりあえずはあんたの協力に感謝するわ。明日の話は明日すればいいことよ。
ええ、そうね。姉さんが黄金を独り占めにするなんて考えない。公平な当主跡継ぎだと信
There's
じ
so much fucking tension here. I love
There's so
it.
much shade
も
being
ちろん
thrown.
でしょ。
Yeah.
ちゃんと黄金は兄弟で山分けするわよ。
What?
Oh.
いやよ、これは私が見つけた。
What?
私たちが碑文の謎を解いたんだから。だからこの黄金は全て私のものだってば。
Okay.
誰にも譲らないわ。私が後宮家の当主なのよ。私が
You don't exist.
You're not real. In a loud voice, the witch inside Ava claimed exclusive possession of everything. Of course, that didn't come close to reaching Rose's ears, and it probably didn't even reach Ava's either.
わらわがそれを認めようぞ。
Oh no.
そなたこそ魔女の碑文に選ばれし正当なる後宮家の当
Are you
主。
ready for this?
No.
我が名において認めようぞ。
あんたはその格好、まさか本当にベアトリーチェ？
I can't wait to see your face at the end of this chapter.
Maybe Beatrice was happy that Ava had called her by her own name. She cackled pleasantly. I feel like those two words don't work well together.
Cackle pleasantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In concert with that laugh, gold butterflies rose up as though a storm of gold dust had broken out in the room. And the room shone the color of gold.
いかにわらわが黄金の魔女ベアそう怯えることはないぞ。 わらわはそなたの偉業をたたえておる。本当に素晴らしい。あの碑文の謎を見事解いてみせた。わらわを感嘆させるに値する。
あの手紙の差出人はあなたなら、私は全ての黄金と後ろ宮家の家督を引き継げるのよね。あなたはそうあの手紙に記したわ。そして私はその挑戦に打ち勝った。
わらわはそれを認めようぞ。今やこの積み上げられた黄金のすべて、後ろ宮家のすべてをどうしようもそなたの自由ぞ。
But she's like not real.
何しろ今この瞬間、
Right?
そなたはもう後ろ宮家の当主なのだ。
本当に本当よね本当よね。
興奮するでな。わらわはそなたを率直に褒めて
Look at her eyes.
Yep.
Good lord.
そなたにこれを授ける。
Beatrice took a ring off of her own finger and held it out to Ava. She fearfully accepted it and realized that it was a ring.
What?
Oh no. What?
金蔵より返還された後ろ宮家当主の証である黄金の指輪。今よりそれはそなたのもの。それを指にはめ、兄弟たちの前で高々と掲げるがよい。
Mary
そなたが今や
Barrels.
後ろ宮家の家督を継いだことに誰も疑いを挟めぬであろうぞ。
Ava stared closely at the ring. It certainly wasn't a fake. Without a doubt, it was the real thing.
But you're not real, and you're not real, so it was not real. It was
She
fake.
who had dreamed of receiving this ring someday, and who had stared fixedly at it countless times, could say that for certain. This ring had now designated her as its new owner, and had been handed over to her.
It was the one giggle in her heart.
Timidly, she put it on her middle finger of her left hand. In that instant, she felt a deep emotion welling up inside her that she had never felt before. Her mind grew blank. Both eyes opened wide. That ring was on her own finger. Not in a dream. In reality.
その指輪も喜んでおろう。
Perdón?
それほどまでに指に通すことを夢見ていたそなたのもとへ行くことができた。
Don't you understand, Mr. Frodo? The ring wants to be found. It's trying to get back to its master.
指輪お父様の指輪。
そなたはそのようにして自らの指に通すことをどれほどの世に夢見てきたのか。
She's literally being wedded to her greed.
その思いの強さとそなたの魔法に強い。それを実現させたの。そなたは今や立派な魔女を名乗る資格があろうぞ。
あなたは何者なの？本当にベアトリーチェなの？
Shut the fuck up. I don't like you.
Oh.
我こそは黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ、後ろ宮家顧問錬金術師。金蔵との契約に従い、そなたに今こそ全てを受け継ごうぞ。金蔵に託した全ての黄金、そしてそれにより築き上げた全ての地として後ろ宮家の家督と名誉、そして我が力と無限の魔女の称号を
Are you ready? Are you ready?
I know.
Are you
When
ready?
have I ever been ready for anything that's happened in this whole
Are you
goddamn
ready?
thing? No, is the
魔
puzzle
女
gonna
の
change?
称号。
わらわのすべての魔力と無限の魔女にして黄金の魔女の称号をそなたに引き継ぎ、先代に従い 称号とともにわらわの名ベアトリーチェをそなた今こそそなたが名乗るがよかろう。
What is going on?
Ava gulped. The chandelier light, which had seemed dim, now felt too
我
bright.
が名においてこれより黄金の魔女の継承を執り行
We
おう
missed
ぞ
a prime these nuts joke with Ava Gulped.
Did we?
Ava Gulped on these nuts.
This is, this is a lot. The instant that Beatrice made that proclamation, a golden brilliance buried everything, and changed it into a majestic space that looked like a throne room. In the throne room, there was a crowd of Beatrice's minions and brethren, as well as countless gold butterflies, celebrating the first succession ceremony in 1,000 years. And there was Beatrice, in the throne that only the endless witch was permitted to sit in, holding a golden staff, reigning with a dazzling dignity. Without being ordered by anyone, Ava automatically kneeled, hanging her head. A goat attendant respectfully offered Beatrice a golden staff modeled after the one-winged eagle. After Beatrice stood up and received that staff, she laid the tip of it on Ava's shoulder and spoke. It was a proclamation 1,000 years in the making.
後宮エヴァ、そなたは魔女の碑文の謎を見事にこの黄金鏡へたどり着いた。その偉業をたどり、そなたに無限の魔法のすべて、無限と黄金の両魔女の称号を引き継ぎ、そなたはこれに我がベアトリーチェを名乗るがよかろう。さあ、面を上げ、そして立ちてこの杖を受け取れ。
ありがたき幸せ。
Ava stood up dizzily and took the magic staff from Beatrice's hand. Her hand was trembling slightly. She started working the shaft. As soon as she grasped that staff, she was wrapped up in a brilliant sparkle of gold, as though gold butterflies were flowing out from inside her. In the instant she succeeded, the golden witch, Ava felt something in the depths of her soul reborn.
Remember when you said, doesn't this sound like golden butterflies?
Yeah.
This foreshadowing.
Oh boy. To describe it in a word, it was energy. Energy with a gold color. It felt as though she had been half asleep ever since she was born, and had now awoken for the first time in her life. For the first time in her life, she felt her true eyes inside her eyes open. Interesting. Opened her third eye. Oh, nice. That's really good art. I like that.
さあ、一同の者たちにそなたの姿を見せてやるがよ。そなたこそが今や新しき魔女であることを知ら。
Ava, no, the new Beatrice turned around timidly. When she did, the witch's minions, which filled the vast throne room, honored her with a wild applause that sounded like the roaring of the sea.
さあ、皆の者、ベアトリーチェの肖像画をすべて新しきベアトリーチェに
I
差し
knew
替えよ。
the portrait was gonna fucking change. I
新し
knew
き
it.
ベアトリーチェに祝いの言葉を捧げよ。
Haha.
Nice.
What is even going on? You're
I
probably
don't know,
thinking.
man.
黄金の魔女の継承おめでとう。あなた
This is all
一
fake
日
news.
も早く
Oh, apparently, definitely it is.
そして無限の魔女として一人前になることを願っていますよ。
頑張ります。
Oh, that's adorable.
やんちゃな先代と違い、あなたには無限の魔女に
It's all
ふさわし
diversion
い
techniques.
落ち着きを期待していますよ。
Seems like it.
We're missing somebody dying right now, probably.
Honestly. We're missing Rosa and Ava blasting each other in the face with shotguns in the Rose Garden.
お師匠様、今は真面目な儀式中なんだから、そういうのはなしで頼むよ。
Well, we know who the two that are close that are going to be torn apart are.
Wait, who?
Probably Rosa and Maria.
Oh, maybe.
黄金の魔女の継承おめでとうございます。新しきベアトリーチェ様、私はロノウェと申します。黄金の魔女様にお使いを許されている72柱の悪魔でございます。
Does that include the 7 states?
I have no idea.
これよ
Probably
り
not.
常におそばに控えております。何か不自由がございましたらいつでも申し付けください。
ありがとう。
ロノウェは口は悪いが頼れる男だ。魔女としての新しき日々への戸惑いはその男に相談すれば晴れるであろう。
そして先代ベアトリーチェ様、ようやくこうしてお会いできたのにこれ以上のお使いを許されずとても残念です。この1000年間とても楽しく過ごさせていただきました。深く感謝いたします。
Yes, yes, it's very emotional.
そなたの罪に退屈はなかった。新しき魔女の世話どうかよろしく頼む。
はい。
Can we please just
先代ベアトリーチェ様の最後のご
get
命
an answer to what's going
この
on?
ロノウェしかと聞き届けました。
Nobody cares.
感謝しなさいよ。あんたの魔女継承の推薦人にサインしてあげ
No,
た
you
の
don't
ね。
exist. None of you exist.
つまり私がサインしなかったらあんたは魔女になれなかったってわけだから、少しは感謝なさいよね。
こちらは絶対の魔女ラムダデルタ級。そなたの無限の魔女継承には元老院の魔女の推薦が必要なの。ラムダデルタ級
From
は
the
そ
Senate?
なたを推薦され
Wait, there's a Senate of witches?
Apparently.
ちょっとベアとこの子感謝が足りないわ。やっぱ推薦やめる。
推薦人は子供の使いじゃないでしょう。サインしたならきっちり責任取りなさい。
ラムダデルタ卿は絶対の魔女でもあられる。絶対の魔女は運命を強固にする絶対の運命を好まれそなたの今日までの努力をとても気に入り高く評価してくだされた。
まあ不遇の少女時代と報われない努力にね、ちょっとだけ同情しただけなんだから、別にかわいそうだからとか思ったわけじゃないわよ。うぬぼれないでよね。つーんだ。
I was just about to say
Oh my
that.
god.
私から見ればあなたの継承はまあ奇跡というよりは偶然ね。私が推薦するには値しない。
Ouch.
こちらはベルンカステル卿。とても気難しい御人でね。だがこうして参列し祝福してくれただけでも行幸というものよ。
1000年ぶりの珍しいイベントだから来ただけ。美味しいお酒も出るそうです。
新しきベアトリーチェ様、ぜひ私たちにもご挨拶させてください。
どうもはじめまして。
The 7 sisters of purgatory formed a line side by side. The eldest sister, Lucifer, took a step forward and kneeled.
こやつらはわらわに仕えし神で継承祝いにそなたに使わせそなたに黄金の魔女を継承した後、自らの復活の儀式を執り行ってもらわねばならぬ。その儀式において煉獄の七姉妹たちは欠かせぬ役割を果たす。くせ者揃いだが役には立つぞ。手足とするがよい。
常にベアトリーチェ様のおそばに。何事もお命じください。必ずや遂行してご覧に入れます。
Even after that, various nobles and minions visited and offered words of congratulation for the new witch. As she responded to them confusedly, she felt as though she was getting lightheaded due to a lack of oxygen. She couldn't tell if this was something real or unreal. It's definitely not real. There was just one thing she could understand. The feeling of achievement at being permitted to call herself the Golden Witch. That alone was a truth she could definitely understand.
これはどういうことなんだ
Thank you, Battler.
もちろん鵜呑みにするつもりはねえが
Seriously.
一体どういう意味なんだ
It means you've taken a little too much acid.
Yep.
エヴァおばさんが新しいベアトリーチェに
The shrooms are starting to kick in.
It's no good. It's no goddamn good at all.
魔女になっちまったっていうのがそんなバカな
わらわも驚いて
What do you mean you're also surprised?
あの碑文を解く者が現れるとは。しかしそういうルールだ。わらわはそれにのっとり黄金の魔女の座と我が名を引き継がねばならん。
That's bullshit.
驚かれるには値しますまい。
This is all big pile of bison feces.
お嬢様はもとよりそういうルールを手紙に記されて
It's
公示され
bullshit.
て
It's
お
all
ります
bullshit.
It's no goddamn good at all.
エヴァ様がそれを最初に成し遂げたそれだけのことでございます。
ワルギリアいるか
Why do you care so much about this battler?
この茶番が意味するところは何だおかしな魔女たちが次々と現れる描写はあいつのざれ言だとしてもこれじゃまるでエヴァおばさんが魔女になっちまったみたいじゃないか
She always was, battler. She always was.
黄金の魔女という称号が継承され、あるいは以後自己の継承式はそれをあの子の解釈で演出したものに過ぎないに違いない。同じ手に何度もかからないで。
According to that child's interpretation. So, okay. So this has to do with what we've been saying for the last, basically, for a lot of the time that we've been playing this. Is
Just
that,
because she saw the Riddler doesn't mean that all this witch bullshit happened.
and just because we're seeing things happen
Doesn't even actually happen.
doesn't mean that it actually happened. We're just seeing it through another perspective.
Yes.
そうだなこの盛大な式典は全てまやかしだだがエヴァおばさんが碑文の謎を解いたことまでは事実そしてそれは同時に後ろ宮家の家督を受け継いだことも指すそして10トンの黄金を得たということエヴァおばさんが黄金の魔女を自称してもいいということなのかくそ相変わらずややこしいことをしやがって
やれやれ、無粋なる人間は
Yada yada.
式典の総合さを介することもできる。
Your ceremony is shit.
空気を読めぬのが人間という
Oh my god.
の。そなたを哀れには思うが、責めはせぬぞ。
くそかわいそうな人を見るような目で見やがってだがとりあえず確認をする必要はある
Repetition
それ
requested.
は若返ったエヴァおばさんみたいな分身つまり新しいベアトリーチェとかいうやつの定義についてだあれは何なんだ
わらわがそれを語ろうともどうせそなたは魔法は信じぬ魔女は信じぬの一点張りであろうだからわらわから説明することは特にないそなたが思う通りに信じればいい
俺が思う通りだとじゃあどう解釈すりゃいいんだ
後宮エヴァの内面的別存在の視覚化と今は捉えていただき指し
もちろん鵜呑みにはできませんが今はそう理解するのが妥当でしょう
つまりエヴァおばさんも彼女も
Yes.
同じ人物だと理解すべきなんだな
But then why the visual differentiation?
Because it shows her personality split.
くそ
I
Probably.
guess so.
なんだか気持ち悪い展開になったぜ。
そういうわけで、これよりベ
The
アトリ
witch
ー
clearly
チェはわ
represents
ら
her
わの名
childhood
ではな
trauma,
いぞ。
probably.
You think so?
Yeah.
I hope so.
後ろ宮エヴァに引き継いだからな。というわけで、わらわは名なしだ。
Hi, Nameless, I'm
バ
Battler.
トラー、何かわらわに適当なふさわしき名はないものか。
Bitch.
そなたの推薦を受けるぞ。何か上品で気品あふれて、できればちょっぴりキュートな名前はないものか。
Sucker
お前なん
married
かベアとのまんまで
barrelers.
十分だぜ。
What?
Sucker
Sucker married barreler?
ベアトとベアトリーチェで十分区別つくだろ。
ベアトのままか。違和感はないが、なぜだかつまらん。
紅茶の温度と女心はいつの時代も難しゅうございます。
Do they?
Do
Do they
they
say
really?
that, Runabe?
バトラ君、とにかく以後は冷静に。
Oh no.
この子がベアトリーチェだった時に比べれば、現在の彼女は後ろ宮エヴァと判別がつくだけ、私たちに状況は有利です。
だからこそかえって気に入らねえんだがな。何を考えてるんだベアトのやつめ。
Over there, Auntie Ava, who had the figure of her younger days and now who possessed the name Beatrice, had a long line forming of witches, wishing to bless her. It was like a witch's coronation. Countless gold butterflies flapped their wings, directing this fantastical gold sparkle into space. They were all praising her. Those who remain shall praise my name. As I stared from the distance, I looked at the Beatrice given new life, who had a slightly embarrassed smile on her face. Her expression, which had been hesitant at first, seemed to be full of a happiness that she had finally become aware of. In that expression, there wasn't a trace of the madness that had led her to that insane laugh before the gold. There was only the innocence of relishing her joy. Since I deny witches, I couldn't accept her as she showed that joyful expression at her witch succession ceremony. However, as I watched that innocent smile, it made me feel like I wanted to celebrate her, just for now. The moment when a strong effort is successful and rewarded is always beautiful. Auntie Ava, who had always yearned to succeed the head and who had worked hard since she was young without being rewarded, had spectacularly taken hold of the chance given to her by the riddle of the epitaph and had finally gained that position. How divine is the smile of a person whose childhood dreams have been granted. I definitely won't accept witches, but Battler put his hands together, making a small sound. These perspective changes. Clap, clap, chlamydia. It didn't reach her ears, but it did celebrate her.
おめでとうよ、エヴァおばさん。
Why are you...
You solved the riddle of the epitaph masterfully, before anyone else. It's your victory without any complaints. I won't accept all that about the Golden Witch and so on, but I will accept you as the head, the new head of the Ushiromia family, and I will celebrate you honestly. As though lured by Battler's applause, Beato also clapped. It was a slightly odd scene, because Battler and Beato, who opposed each other, were standing next to one another applauding for the same person.
魔女に拍手してるわけじゃねえぞ。エヴァおばさんのこれまでの努力に拍手してんだぞ。
わらわもだぞ。あの碑文を見事に解いたエヴァに対し、率直に祝福の拍手を送っておる。
We still don't know. We still don't know how she did it. It's still super vague on what. They never explained.
We can get a lot of good information from it.
That's true.
I feel like once we figure out what Kinzo's hometown is,
We'd be able to.
yes,
Yeah.
お前と一緒に
it's like a snowball effect from
気に入
there.
らねえ。ま、今は気にしねえことにするぜ。たまにゃお前と一緒に拍手しても罰は当たらねえか。
たまにはオツであるな。しかし 拍手って楽しいな。成し遂げたのはわらわではなくエヴァであるというのに、なぜかこっちまで嬉しくなってきおるわ。
祝福するってことはその喜びを共感する、共有するって意味だからな。
なるほど。ではこのわけもなく嬉しい気持ちはそなたとも共有できているというわけか。互いを屈服させようとする敵同士でありながら、これはキーが大変。
ま、今だけは休戦で手を叩こうじゃねえか。
Beato laughed impishly, playing around and applauding even louder, as though eagerly trying not to lose to Battler as she clapped. Battler went along with her and clapped even louder. And when he did, as though he had ended some kind of ceremony, everyone present put their hands together in loud applause and highly praised the newborn Beatrice. It was just as though Battler and Beato's applause had been the final thing needed for succession.
Sucker, Mary, barrelers.
Suck my balls indeed.